Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And today we're working on the Altered Index Challenge 2025, hosted by Suzanne at Nonstop Paper Crafts. And I've got my list of prompts here. We're on week 15, and the prompt this week is weird or weirdness. So weird or weirdness, that can be interpreted in so many different ways. But my mind immediately went to Diane Reevely. I don't know if you're familiar with her work, but I think weird covers it. So I've got stamps, I've got stencil, and we're just going to use those and see what we can come up with. So the first thing I want to use, or I'll show you the, this is the size of my index cards, just so you can see. I'm using a mixed media cardstock, it's quite thick, to work on because we're doing mixed media, and it makes sense because these index cards are really flimsy and very thin. But what I usually do, well I always do, is glue this to the back when I've finished and write the prompt here so I know what it's all about. So that's, I just thought I'd show you that because I usually don't have them ready to hand when I want to show you. So this is the card, and I'm going to use one of the Dylusion stencils, Diane Reevely, as I said. Dylusions is her brand, and it's called Scribble. So it just seemed like a good start for weird. I can't remember. Yeah, it does say, no, squiggle, not scribble, squiggle, small is what it's called. And this is, so she does these small stamps and she does larger ones, not stamps, stencils, large ones as well. Right, I'm just going to turn my sound off my phone because I have a feeling there's going to be a few follow-ups to that message. So I'm just going to turn that off. Yep, okay. Sorry about that. I often forget to do that. So, yeah, so I've got my... I'm always calling it scribble, but it's squiggle. But you can see why. She's obviously just gone... I made a stencil out of it, which I think is quite fun. And I think it will make quite an interesting background. And I'm going to use, for this one, I tried different colours. I couldn't decide what colour because it's just a background. And what's going to go on top of it is going to be more weird, I guess. So I've decided to go with Victorian Velvet just because I quite liked that. I didn't want it too bright in the background. I don't want it to fight with the focal point, but at the same time I want it to be visible. So I'm just going to cover my card with a bit of squiggle. And then we'll take it from there. It's going to be quite a fun one, I think. It's going to be really doing a lot of colouring with paints and stamping. Oops, and we've slipped. Go back. Yeah, I think it'd be quite fun to do. I don't know whether this background will work or not, but I think when you're doing something that's weird, it kind of doesn't matter if it clashes, or the weirder the better, really, eh? So we'll see how it turns out, whether what I end up with looks as weird as I was thinking it would. But I think when you see the stamps I'm using, I don't think you could really use any other word to describe them, to be honest. Whoa! Yeah, not good at this. This is because it's this corner, and being left-handed, I'm struggling to hold it in place with this hand to get right down into the corner. I really could do with swapping my hands over, really, so I could keep it in place here. Or maybe I'll try that. Why not? We're going for weird. Let's try doing things the wrong way round. See if I can hold it down with this hand and stencil with this hand. Let's go in even weirder than I expected. Oh, still slipping a little bit, but no, I think we're okay. I think we're there. All right, so we have a kind of a fun background. Quite like that. That's fun. Right, so just put that to one side. And I shall show you the stamp I'm using, the stamp set. So this is a Dylusion stamp set. And as you can see, she does like her weird ladies and girls. I've also got a couple of stamps with the bigger images of ladies that have got weird heads and things. On the whole, I've got quite a lot of Dylusion stamps, but mostly I went for quirky rather than really out there and super weird, because some of her stamps are just bizarre. But I think this one, I was kind of attracted to this little girl. I thought she was kind of cute, and I think maybe her as well. But I don't think I've ever used this one. So that's the one I'm going to use today. That's the one I think looks the weirdest, this one here. And then we've got this one, which is also kind of weird. So yeah, we have lots of options on the weird front, but I think this is the one. So I have already stamped her onto a piece of the Ranger Mixed Media cardstock that we used before for when I was doing the little houses. Because I thought I'd stamp it, which is what I've done before quite often. Stamp it onto this and then we'll colour it. What I like to use for this sort of thing, I've used quite a lot before, are these are not Dylusions. These are Dina Wakely. They're also made by Ranger, so also great quality. But what she calls her scribble sticks. They kind of look like crayons, but they're water-based paint sticks, really. And you get, I've got a couple of sets. I've got, oops, I'll move my water out the way a little bit. You can just see. So they come like this. They did have little plastic inserts to stick them in, and I kind of chucked it because they were getting annoying to stick them back in all the time. And they just come looking like this, like a crayon. And you can see the ones I've used the most because they're all flattened, and I'm always struggle a bit to get the paper off, but and sometimes they've gone into a little point where I've been using them. I tend to use them, I don't even know if I use them the right way. What I like to do is use a paintbrush and some water and just use them like watercolour paints, really. So I've got this set, which has got these nice colours on, and then I have another set here which have got a slightly different range of colours. So I'm just going to have them both open, or both next to me, and decide as I go what colour I'm going to use where. And hopefully it won't take too long because, excuse me, the black, there's lots of black, like black spots and black, and I can just paint over it. I'm hoping the ink I've used is not going to run. I don't think it will. If it does, I'll have to rethink and do it again. So I think I'm going to, where shall I start? Shall I start on the big areas, because then I haven't got to think so much about it. What's that? I'll get rid of that for a moment. And I'll put my card aside, and that stamp set. I've got a couple more other stamp sets I might bring in as well. Well, I do plan to bring in, without trying to overdo it. So I fancy the outside of this jacket, this check jacket. I thought I'd use, maybe I used that one. What have I got in here? I've got a nice orange in here, haven't I? Yeah, maybe I'll use the orange. Or this one. What colour's this? So all the colours are on here. Ruby. No, I fancy orange on the jacket, so I'm just going to do that. So I hope this isn't going to take me too long, because it could get a little bit tedious. If it does take a long time to film all this, I will just speed things up, as I often do. But for now, let's just try it. Let's see how we go, see how long it takes me to do. I mean, they're quite detailed, these stamps, so there's quite a lot to fill in, really. So I thought I'd just start. I'm going to do bright, garish colours, I think. Stick with the slightly weirdness theme. So you need to kind of load up the paintbrush a bit. Really activate the scribble stick so that it gives you plenty of depth of colour. So I just kind of reel it about a bit until I've got a nice lot of colour on my brush. I mean, I'm no expert on this, and I don't think this is how you're supposed. I think you're supposed to use the sticks and then use water to spread it. But because I'm doing smaller areas, I don't think that would really work so well. The colours are lovely when you get them going. They're quite well pigmented, these sticks, so you get a nice depth of colour, and they're fun to use. And if you load up your brush well, you can get quite a lot of coverage with it. So yeah, I remember, and they're quite nice to take away if you wanted to do. I did that one year. I took them on holiday. I think we just had one set, and some stamps, a bit of cardstock, and just had a bit of fun painting, stamping and painting. So it's a nice thing about this challenge, and I'm getting to use these things. I haven't used them for quite a long while. I forget I have them. I really ought to use them. Do a bit more of this, I guess, in my journal making. And there's a little bit of the check from the outside down this edge here. This is where I get a bit... I'm not so good because I haven't got fantastic paintbrushes, and you need them to be quite fine. I have got a thinner one, but now I've started, I'll use this. And then we need a... Yeah, she's got something on underneath, different coloured top. So I'm going to leave this for now, and I'm going to I'm trying to figure out what she's wearing here, because these spotty bits don't go right up to the top, so I reckon that needs to be a different colour. Okay, so just trying to... I think I might use a bit of the orange in her headdress as well. Let's go with that. So I might do the spotty bits in her headdress in the orange, because I do like this colour. Lovely and bright and cheerful. There's such a bright day today that I think if I went too pastel today, you wouldn't really see the colours, because I think I've noticed when I'm filming on a bright day, sometimes it's quite difficult to see the colour if you're using pale colours. You know, just when I'm journal making or whatever I'm doing, they tend to get a bit washed out by the bright sun. And I've got my blind shut and everything, but it's a really lovely day, spring day. Had a lovely week, really. It's been very bright every day. Not always warm particularly, but it's going to be a warm one today. So I'm just doing all these little bits while I'm here with the orange. See, her actual hair, I think, is... Well, these bits are black anyway, so I don't need to colour those in. Oh, there's a bit of orange. The spotty bits right in the centre. Let's just try and do that. Try and see where each bit ends. Alright, I think there, that's everything. Needs to be coloured in there. Right. Put that one back. What colour shall I go for? I think I'm going to do these little spotty trousers. Fancy doing a nice bright clashy pink. Which one's this? This is fuchsia. I think we'll go with fuchsia. So, just going to put a bit of kitchen towel there to dry my brush, because we don't really want too much of the orange to affect it, but I don't think it will, because this is a very strong colour in itself. Whoops. I haven't got a point on this one. I think I must have used it so much the point came off. I need to find a way to get the paper off. I know there is a way of doing it, but I haven't found it yet. I need to sit here and peel away some of these. But let's go for it. Ooh, yeah, look at that colour. I've got to be careful I don't completely cover up those black spots, because I think this colour is so strong the spots could disappear. Okay, so that's our little spotty trousers. I think we've got a bit of a disco vibe going on here, really, haven't we? So I think we need to find a colour for the top of her trousers. I'm not quite sure how this is all fitting together, but we'll find something else to go on the top. Now that one belongs in here. Or let's go for aubergine, shall we? I think this is aubergine. Aubergine? No, blackberry. Ooh, yeah, let's go with blackberry, shall we? I think there is an aubergine in here as well. But let's see how this looks. Ooh, not as dark as I was thinking. Maybe I'll have to go for aubergine after all if it's not dark enough. It's a bit wet. I think that's the problem. A bit wet. It's looking too watery. Yeah, I like that colour. We need something in between for this little... Hang on, if I do it that way around I can't really see what I'm doing. There's only a tiny bit of this really. There's a little bit... Trying to figure out where... Oh no, that's her arm. That's the only bit top of the other leg. And I think that should have been pink there. Don't know where this one came from now, doesn't matter. Yep, I'm going to have to bring out the fuchsia again just for that little tiny bit. Or I'm going to use a smaller brush, I think, for this. I missed a bit. It's often the way with these very detailed stamps, isn't it? Just should have done that little tiny bit there. Sorry, am I going a bit high on my mat? That should go there. Right. And now we want to do the front of her, or the inside of her, inside her jacket, whatever top she is wearing. Thinking of green. I've got a choice of greens. Colour's this. Olive. Let's go olive, shall we? Or shall we go lime? Gonna go olive, I think. So she's got an olive green top. I want to do some more green on her head somewhere. I'm going to give her green eyelashes. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, and we're going to have these, there's some little tiny hearts up here. I'm going to do those in the green as well. And then let's see what other colours we can go with. Well, hearts and diamonds, not just hearts, little diamonds. There we are. Fun, fun, fun. And that goes in there. Now, I need a colour for the other bits in her headdress, hair. I need to give her, I really want to give her some blue lips. I don't know why. Let's do that. Give her some blue lips. So this is quite a darkish blue. It's called, gosh, I can hardly read it, Lapis. So she's going to have lapis blue lips. Why not? We're going weird today, so let's have weird lip colour. Wet. Right, okay, blue lips. And what other colour? Right, let's do this hair. What colour do I want in her hair up here? Let's do this blue, sky blue. Right. Now we're almost done. I will be speeding bits up here and there. I'm sure I'll have done that. Otherwise, it will be here forever. Where was that really dark colour? Was this the aubergine? Oh, well, it's called eggplant. I call it aubergine. It's the same. Right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use it for her eye, her one eye. Let's see. Don't know whether to do every other section. I'll try that and then fill it in if it needs to be. Maybe it looks alright like that. Oh, that looks really weird. That looks very weird. Do I do another colour? Well, it's been divided into sections, so as though it needs another colour. Okie dokie. I'm just wondering whether to do this bit in the same colour. Yeah, I think I will. No idea what that's meant to be, but I'm going to colour it in. So I'm filming this on Friday. This is going to go up on Monday. And we do have quite a busy weekend up ahead. So tomorrow I'm out for lunch with my good friends as we meet up pretty regularly, about once every 4 to 6 weeks, I suppose, because we've all got busy lives and grandchildren and all that kind of stuff going on. So, but we always try to book our next one before we, at the end of our, at the end of each lunch, we book the next one in so that we keep that free. So we've always got that time to get together. We've been friends for over 30 years. And then about the time I get back, we're expecting our little grandson for his trial run of a sleepover on his own with us, because we're looking after him while his mum and dad are going to a wedding. I think I need to fill that bit in a couple of weeks. So we're going to be having him overnight anyway. So they're doing a bit of a trial run at the weekend. So they'll drop him off and then pick him up on Sunday morning. So that could be, hopefully it'll go smoothly. And he'll be fine because he's used to us now. He's used to us putting him to bed and things like that. But he's not done it on his own overnight before. So we'll have to see how he copes with it. Oh yeah, that looks pretty weird. Kind of like that. Right, so I'm just trying to, I've got a few more bits. Oh, I've missed a bit up the top here of this stripy one. That was this one, wasn't it, I was using? Okay. You would look and often miss bits when you do them the first time. Just noticed a little bit that I missed up here. Bits around here as well. Yeah, so that's Saturday is going to be quite a full day. It's going to be a fun day, but pretty full. And then Sunday morning, well, I'm hoping, I think his mum and dad will arrive quite early because my husband's going off on one of his runs. He's going to do a 10k run this time. You know, a proper official organised one. And I think we're going for dark green, a bit of dark green. And he's got to leave at 9, and sadly I can't manage Arlo on my own. I'm just not strong enough. And he wouldn't be happy with just me, I don't think. He wouldn't feel safe, sad though it is, he wouldn't feel safe because I can't do the things with him that his granddad can. So Hannah and George are going to come early to pick him up. Yeah, it does make me sad that I can't do the things I'd like to do with the little one, but it's just a fact of life. Sometimes it upsets me a bit that I can't do all the things with him. So he doesn't look to me for things like comfort and stuff, because he knows Grandad can pick him up and cuddle him if he falls over. But we still have fun. I do have fun with him. I think he associates me with food and with singing nursery rhymes. That's really what I do with him. Occasionally after nap cuddles. Alright, I've got a bit green on the top there. So all I've got to do really is fill in her skin parts. And I'm just trying to decide whether I go for a bit more a natural look on the skin or go even more weird. I don't think I want to go over the top with this. I have got a very pale stick which is called Blushing, so I think we'll probably go with that. Right, I think that's her done. I just used a touch of this one. This is called Ruby. I thought I'd just use that on her shoe and on the heel. She's got a stripy heel, so I've given her a touch of red on there. So all I've got to do now is cut her out, which is going to be the most daunting part. Close these up. I think I've got this little bit here to put in. So yeah, so I'll start it off and then I'll probably fast forward or cut it out. It's going to be a bit tricky to cut around here, so I'll just have to more or less kiss cut, I think. So right, there she is, in her glory. So what we'll be doing, she is going to sit on there like that. And I'm just wondering if there's something she needs to be sitting on. Ooh, I had a thought. Got some toadstools here. Toadstool Town. I wasn't planning to use toadstools, but she could be sitting on one. I don't know if I've got one that would work. I've got some pre-stamped. I'll be right back. So I had a box full. I've got a box of things that I've stamped in the past and cut out. Some are coloured, some are not. All sorts of bits and pieces, not just Dylusions, but other stamps as well. But I thought I'd have a look to see if I've got some of the toadstools from that stamp set, which I have, but I don't think they quite work. I could stamp that on there and then just kind of have her sitting. It still doesn't look quite right. But I did find this, and it's a flower, I think from another set. It's a kind of weird looking flower. So I did wonder if I could just pop that there, and she could be kind of sat on that. Well, she could. I think I might. Which way round? Is that going to sit there? She's going to nestle in the... No, I think she needs to sit. I mean, the prompt is weird, as I've mentioned a few times. So we could have her sitting on there. And actually, they're almost matching what she's wearing. That wasn't really intentional, but it's ready made, so let's go with it. So I'm going to have her sitting on there. Then I did pick out one of the phrases. I've got another stamp set. I did buy quite a few of her stamp sets back in the day, a few years ago. And this is what she calls her quintessential quotes. Now she does a lot of what she calls snarky quotes, which are really snarky sayings. I didn't go for snarky. I went for ones that perhaps will be a bit nicer to use, in my mind. So there's quite a nice selection of quotes that could go with here. But I thought perhaps the one that would work is this one. It says, "I'm pretty sure that with sparkly shoes and a new tiara, she could conquer the world." And I thought I might use that for this one. So I have pre-stamped it. I just haven't quite cut it out yet because I wasn't sure. No, it won't go on as it is. I think I'll cut it out into its... And it has individually got a little border around each bit, so it does lend itself to being cut out. So I'm going to do that. And then I might have one or two little extra bits to add. And then we'll be done. So So hopefully by the time I've speeded bits up, shouldn't be too long. Right, let's see how this fits on. So we've got, I'm pretty sure that with sparkly shoes and a new tiara, I think I might have to cut that a bit more. It's a bit wide. So what I'll do, I'll just use my pen to complete that black line on each bit. Though it was meant to be sparkly shoes and a new tiara. She could... Am I going to break this up as well? Shall I overlap it? Put it on top of her. Conquer the world. Might put world underneath. It's clever because she's made it look like those black borders are hand drawn. So if you need to cut it up a bit more, you can, and it doesn't look strange. Nearly said weird. No, can't use that again. Conquer the world. We'll bring that down here a little bit. Sparkly shoes. So I did want to put another couple of little bits on here, but I'm not sure how well they'll fit. I have, going back to this stamp set, this one here, we've got this little weird flying creatures, little flies, bees, whatever they're, well, that might be meant to be a bee. I thought I might put one or two of those on, but I don't know how well they'll fit with all the words on there now. But I certainly can get one down here. This one down here would go. Whoop. So I haven't stuck these on yet, so. But I do want to put that little fella down there. And I think, what colour shall I stamp him? I quite fancy doing something a bit different. Let's do him in, I don't want a black one, do I? No, I'm going to use this, which is called Morocco. So it's a kind of orangey red. So I'm going to pop him there. Don't know which one he is. Which way is his eyes going? I hope they're looking. I'm just going to check because I've got one with eyes going both ways. And I want the one to be looking at her. Let's just check. No, he's looking the wrong way. Use the other one. Oh, they're so cute. Okay. So they're exactly the same, but one's got eyes going looking that way and one's got eyes looking that way. And that's the one I want. I haven't glued her down yet, have I? Right, we'll pop him on. And then we'll put her on too. Yeah, he's giving her a funny look. And why wouldn't he? Okay, let's just, this is quite an orangey colour, but I quite like that. Right, take these away for a minute. I'm going to glue this down. So I think we'll have used a few different mixed media on this. So we've done some stenciling and some stamping and some painting with scribble sticks. I love my scribble sticks. I find them more manageable than those little watercolour palette things. You get a much more intense colour. Over there. Little bit's not gluing. Right, so I'm wondering whether I can get one of these little beads, one of these little creatures up here. Don't really want him on the same side. I'd rather have him there if possible. Don't know, maybe he would fit better. Let's try that. Maybe I'm just thinking if I stamp that first, I can put the phrase over the top of him. I think one's not enough, that's all. But I don't want him directly above. To seem a little bit more random, but I think this, I like him, but I don't think he's going to fit very well. Maybe he will. Maybe I'll try him. Let's try it. And I'm just going to put the phrase over the top. I want him about there, I think. Slightly off the edge. Oh, he's looking the other way. That's all right. He's looking up. I thought he was looking that way, but it does not matter. Right. And then we're going to... don't want to cover up his eyes. Oh, I'm going to have to cut that again. Sparkly shoes. And new tiara. She could conquer the world. I'm gonna do them a little bit at an angle as well. Okay, I've just got to cut off with my little line down there. Right, so just playing around with this, and I did cut that, separated that as well, so we don't lose too much of our little weird flying creature, and just split that phrase there, I'm pretty sure of that. And I'm just going to put them all on a bit of an angle, just to finish off the weird look. And I think that might be just about the last thing I'm going to do, but I've got one more thing I want to do on here that I've just thought of. So let's see how that goes. So I'm pretty sure. There we are. I really like that. I just feel it needs something round the edge. So I've had a thought about what I could use. And I have some paint sticks. They're a bit like gelatos, only about a tenth of the price. These were just ones I got from the works a long time ago. And I bought a set for Alyssa and I bought a set for me. And I generally only use the gold. In fact, somehow I've managed to not put the gold back in the box. I don't know what's happened to it. But it's not gold I was going for, because these are metallic. And I was thinking maybe I'd use this metallic pink just to go around the edge, just to add the final touch of I don't know what. But I just fancied that. I'm going to see how it will go. I don't think I've ever used it, which means I probably can't get the top off. Bear with one moment while I struggle with that. Okay, managed it. Wasn't sure I was going to. Just wind it up a little bit. So I think I will use something behind it. I've been using this bit of random mixed media card that I cut off, so I'm going to use that just to. I don't know how this is going to go because I've not used them before like this, but well, I've used the gold like it, but not the other colours. Just to give it an edge. Okay. There we are. Just giving it slightly. It is very slightly sparkly. It is metallic, so it could pick up the light. It's not very obvious, but I do think it just finishes it off. Gives it that final finishing touch of weirdness, maybe. But anyway, there we are. That is my Altered Index challenge for week 15. Weird, and I think you'll agree. We have gone quite weird here, but I have had lots of fun with all the colouring and that. I quite enjoy all that. Haven't done it for ages, so yeah, it was loads of fun. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.